What up, world? It's your boy G Maniac, y'all, and today I got a super special guest. I'm normally excited like this, y'all see when I do these intros and stuff, but I'm super excited because our special guest today is gonna tell you about health, wealth, look, everything you need to know, especially about your health, y'all. BlessThaBelly, aka What the Healthy, aka Miss Areli.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all better get it right. Tell them who you are real quick so they know.
So my name's Areli. I'm a registered dietitian and I'm the owner of Latina Kidney Dietitian.
Latina Kidney Dietitian. That's amazing. So you see the entertainers come through, y'all see the artists come through, all that's fine and dandy, but in the world that we're living in, we want to make sure that health is A1. The older I've gotten, I paid attention to my health so much day to day now, and I said, man, it'll be so cool to have a nutritionist or dietitian come through, holler at us and tell us what the healthy is going on in this world, you know what I'm saying? How did you start? When did you get started?
Oof, my dietetics road was a long one.
Really?
So something that people don't know is that it's actually very expensive to become a dietitian.
Dang, just threw my dreams out. Now go ahead.
You have to get a bachelor's, a master's. You have to do a usually unpaid internship and then pass a board exam.
Whoa.
So there's a lot of barriers, especially to people that come from lower economic statuses to become a dietitian.
Right.
But it's crazy because about 20% of the U.S. is Latino or Hispanic, but only 6% of existing dietitians are Hispanic. So yeah, it's important for me.
I think it's important for sure in general, and like you said with the minorities and stuff, I know we have what it takes in so many different realms. A lot of times I think I'm like, man, if we just had that shot, you know, like being a minority sometimes it's crucial, but I don't want to complain because I feel like in America, I guess it's a way out as long as you work hard and maybe meet the right people, I'm guessing. It's not for everybody. Everybody can do it, but just blessed because obviously you're in your position, right? We don't know what it took to get there, but we see you here now. You're thriving. You're giving people the game. What do you feel like was the hardest part of your journey coming up? Was it getting the master's? Was it like studying every day or learning the specific facts?
It was the working nonstop because I was doing my master's at the same time I was doing my internship, at the same time I was working 3 part-time jobs. So I think just trying to pull it all off.
Trying to balance it. Yeah. What made you want to do the kidney side of things though? I heard you say kidney.
I love working with kidneys. So when it comes to nutrition, I find that the kidney space is like the perfect marriage of something that's very clinical, but at the same time you get to follow these patients over long periods of time. So currently at my 9 to 5, I work at a dialysis unit. I've been with some of these patients for years.
Wow.
So I get to work with them and see like what works, what doesn't work, and if something doesn't work, we have next week, we try again.
Right, so they get another chance. I have a good friend, rest in peace, Kanal, man. I can't tell you the exact condition, I cannot. But he had been on dialysis for years. Actually, when I met him, and that's the first person that I met that I saw was on dialysis for years or whatnot. A few friends that I've seen on dialysis, they didn't make it to years, and I'm sorry about that. But he was telling me, he's like, yeah, man, he was going to a nutritionist trying to get things together, and he was talking about his kidneys and different things, and he just said, like, he told me, he's like, bro, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I think that was one of the craziest things I ever heard coming from a friend, right? I'm like, why do you think that? He said, I've been on dialysis so long. It's just, you know, his skin started like, what is it? You could tell the skin was just like peeling, and, you know, I guess whatever he was fighting along with the dialysis made it like that. But is there a certain time or period that if you're on dialysis, things can kind of go left, or you're not sure? Can somebody be on there for a long time, or what's the longest? You know what I mean?
Everything's going to be patient specific, but I think the average is 10 years. But of course, I've known patients that have been on dialysis since like before I was born. It just really depends on if they have any residual kidney function, do they have a lot of family support, do they have the financial resources to afford the medications, because you're on a lot of medications when you're on dialysis. Right. So there's a lot of factors that go into that.
And now that I think about it, I think he was financially able to do all that. So that is a blessing. But not everybody is able to, you know, carry it that long, man. And when we talk about health, man, y'all know I want to introduce the What the Healthy version of this BlessThaBelly, because people see me eating all these foods and they're like, bro, how do you pay attention? Do you read labels? Do you like focus on your like fat intake? And I'm like, I started thinking one day because my skin started bothering me. I started getting random rashes sometimes when I eat certain things. I never got like an allergy test before. I worked with a nutritionist in the past, but I didn't really document it like that. So now there's so many environmental factors and things like that.
Right.
I just tell people to pay attention to what you're putting in your body, but also how would you like them to pay attention, right? Do they always have to read labels? Do they have to just say, for instance, if you know Oreos might not be the best for you in your diet, do you just say, I'm gonna eat 2? Do you not eat them at all? Like, how do you balance that with some of these things as well?
For someone like me, I always say everything's in moderation.
Right.
Because cutting things out entirely, if you're missing out on the joy in life, then what's the point? I mean, I can live to be 100, but if I never get to eat chocolate again, then am I really living?
Right. Oh, hey, now that's a point, y'all. That's a hell of a point because, and I guess it's different. Like you say, what just keeps me going is like everybody's body is different, literally.
Yeah.
My mom recently passed from cancer, and before she passed, I was trying my best with every little nutrient I could. I mean, I went over and cooked for her. I did so much. But there will be times I come in the house and I see a Coke right there and I'm like, Mom, the more I learned about the nutrition, I'm like, that's like 42 extra grams of sugar, right? But it was actually sad to see her say, I've been fighting cancer so long, let me live.
Right.
I'm like, Mom, let you live. You're killing yourself. That's a ton of sugar. She's like, baby, I haven't had a Coke in so long, and these are parts of the things that made me kind of who I am, you know, as far as like relax or whatever people like, nostalgia or whatever. So that's when I realized as well, I said, man, my nephew passed of cancer a few years back and he was eating fast food right before he passed. And I'm like, wouldn't you reverse it? Because you know that's bad. And he's like, this makes me feel good. I'm in the hospital, like a McDonald's burger right now is just killer. And I'm just like, wow. So I'm learning a lot about that, and like you said, moderation and things like that. That's why we have somebody as yourself to explain to people, because I think the average person gets in their head and you either scare somebody away or they just like overindulge at a certain point, I guess, you know?
Right, because they start to feel like, well, what's the point, right? If especially with all the information out there right now, you're going to hear fruits are bad, vegetables are bad, this is bad, this is bad. So if everything is bad, then what's the point in carrying?
What's the point, right? So what do? I got some fruit the other day, and people kept saying, you know, is it organic? Pesticides. I'm like, yo, what is that? So they said soak it in vinegar. I didn't do that because I felt like the fruit would be nasty. But I washed the fruit out, and you see little small particles jump up off of it, I guess, because just like anything, it needs to be clean. But I'm like, are those the pesticides? What is that? Like, extra stuff that's on the fruit, maybe plums, you know?
I mean, fruit comes from, you know, trees, the ground. Like, there's gonna be dirt. Of course, you want to wash anything that you're gonna eat, but ultimately, like, there might be something in there. The thing you need to think about is, okay, if you put like a little bit of salt on your food, is that necessarily gonna be bad for you?
No. I would say no. But what if you already have high cholesterol? See, that's what I'm saying.
But if you eat like a cup of salt,
right,
is that going to be bad for you?
Yes.
Of course. Right. So we need to distinguish that, like, it's not all or nothing. Sometimes it's like the amounts. So that's why you'll hear like, they allow so much arsenic in our food. Like, yeah, because that amount is negligible to how much you need to see the effects. Right. And it's like that with everything. So that's when people say like, no, like ultra processed foods are so bad for you. Well, okay, well, how much are you having? Is it every once in a while, like you mentioned? Is it those Oreos, like 2 Oreos once a day, 2 Oreos a week, 2 Oreos every meal? Like, the amount that you're having also matters, not just the ingredient itself, if that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see what that is. And then you would incorporate exercise into all this stuff too, right? Of course. I was gonna say, like, as a dietitian yourself, I want people to see, like, is there something that you do yourself? Maybe you can give them a little quick insight on maybe your day-to-day. Or when I say that, I'm saying because are you like super conscious as you walk out as a dietitian, or are you like, I'm still gonna live too, and hey, we just gonna moderate some of these things and it is what it is, you know? Exactly, because you have to be realistic, right? Like, I do not have as much time to dedicate to making the most healthiest meals, because now,
here it is, right?
Full-time job, business owner, mom, wife, I've got 2 dogs. Like, you have a life, right? So you're gonna make the best choices you can, but you're not always gonna be perfect. Don't expect yourself to be perfect.
And don't beat yourself up. Just make sure you get a good pattern going. I would say that if you see that your pattern is fast food or all these extra foods a lot, then we know you need to switch that up. I would always incorporate fruits and vegetables because we know that that's good for you. Do you have like a favorite food? For my Spanish people, for my Mexicans, what do you like that's Mexican food, and what do you like that might be healthy?
So those can be the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. True.
Yeah. So especially like with my Mexican patients, they have that misconception, right? They're like, no, if I eat healthy, I'm gonna have to give up my favorite foods.
No, you don't.
You don't have to. You don't have to. We use a lot of like onions, tomatoes, garlic, calabacita.
But I know that wouldn't be your favorite. Like, so when I say favorite Mexican food, I'm like, what is just your favorite dish, Mexican
my favorite
style?
dish in general, I think, would probably be enchiladas suizas.
Okay.
So it's green salsa enchiladas with like cheese on it.
That's not enchilada verde or whatever?
También. You could also call it enchiladas verdes, enchiladas suizas with chicken. That's probably my favorite.
Oh, Lord, you got me hungry right now. Okay, and when it comes down to health, I was saying, like, we know onions and the things that y'all incorporate are healthy, but what's just a healthy food as a dietitian that you like? Like, are you grabbing bananas every day you walk out the door? Are you a cucumber snacker? Like,
I like to have variety. Me personally, I get burnt out of food real quick.
For real?
So I can't have. I struggle with things like meal prepping, right? If you're gonna eat the same thing 4 days in a row,
Lord.
I could never.
Yeah.
So I'll cook enough for today, tomorrow, maybe a third meal, but that is it.
That's
Other
it,
than
yeah.
that,
Switch it up.
I need to have a rotation of like different fruits, different veggies, different meals.
Right.
And so one of the things I really like about in my podcast when I talk about Food Culture Curious, I'll go out with a dietitian from a different culture to a restaurant, and then they'll walk me through their foods, right? They'll walk me through like, this is what this is. This is the holidays where we would see this type of food. This is what's in here. So that's exposed me to other cultural foods that I can then incorporate so that I can keep that variety.
Dang, that sounds good. Do you have a cultural food that you like outside of Mexican food?
Korean tofu soup.
Ooh.
I love Korean tofu soup.
Korean tofu soup. Wow.
Yeah.
Is it flavorful or is it kind of?
Yeah, no. It's so flavorful.
I like mushroom soup, but it's not flavorful. It's just kind of like brothy. I don't know. I'm in a mixture between everything right now. I'm blessing the Betty. Let me ask you this before you go. Do you feel like it's bad? I know you see the platform. A lot of people are foodies now, right? The goal is just to eat on camera and show people whatever. I see people making big ass like hot chip burgers and all that. You know they're not finishing that, but do you feel like that's inspiring people to eat unhealthy, even like following some of these food pages, or you still have to obviously be smart enough to do what you do? You know, because there are trends where people will try all these different type of foods. I've seen taki trends of all kind of sorts where they stack the chips, they add this and that, and I'm like, whoa, if that's for fun, even if you did it every day, it kind of get out of hand, you know?
I think if you did it every day, you'd probably have a problem. Now, I would say, like, I'm a foodie myself. Like, I love delicious foods, and I'm not always gonna pick like the healthiest thing on the menu.
She's telling y'all as a dietitian, listen, and if you
know.
want more info, you definitely gotta follow her in this foodie world, because I want y'all to see how transparent this is, and also that you can do a lot of different things with it, man. So shout out some foodies. Do you follow any foodies or anybody that's you like?
Yes, of course, other than yourself.
Come on, thank you.
So our Blissful Bites, Kara and Nonso, they're good friends of mine.
Shout out to them.
They tell me what's up, like in the Houston food scene.
Okay.
I think Houston got spice because I like the whole like let's try different cultural foods. I like
That's
that.
my people.
But there's so many.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. Me and Houston got spice, tried some different cultural foods, talked about it. That was pretty cool. So I love the Houston scene, love how everybody's doing this type of stuff. We just want people to focus on their health. It's 2025. If you don't take nothing else from this interview, going into 2026, get you a nice little routine or something. Eat good, bless your belly. That's the whole point. But just pay attention, man. She told us about reading labels off camera. We talked about MSG off camera. Woo, it's some stuff. It's some spicy stuff. What the Healthy coming soon. You don't want to miss this. You need to subscribe, like, tell a friend. You looking for some healthy food facts. You want to know where all the food is. It's all in one hub. What are you waiting on? Please share this. Love on somebody who loves you. What you want to tell them before we go? Anything? Any last words from our fellow dietitian here?
You can absolutely live a healthy life and eat your favorite foods, especially your cultural foods. Don't let anyone tell you different.
I'm finna go get some Mexican food right now. What we eating? Let's do it. Bless the belly, y'all. We out.